Our artisan guest today is a man by the name of Tom Morton of Morton Fine Furniture. Now, their place of business is in Lancaster County, but I'm sure you will find his furniture, especially if you love colonial American or Shaker or any type of furniture inspired by the Pennsylvania Dutch or the Germans of the period, all over America. He is extremely well known and truly an artisan, but his operation has grown. His original designs were heavily influenced by the Pennsylvania German cabinet makers who first settled in Lancaster County, fashioning simple furniture that was both functional and beautiful, so says Tom. But through the years, Morton's furniture line has evolved to include designs inspired by American Shakers as well as the arts and crafts movement of the early 20th century, including many pieces influenced by my buddy, Frank Lloyd Wright. Let's meet Tom. This is just gorgeous. I mean, this is, you know, I see a piece of furniture like this, especially in an environment where it's so rough, and this is so finished. I mean, you just want to, you know, when nobody's looking.
We encourage people to touch the furniture. You're still feeling the wood.
I'd like you to meet the folks at home. This is Tom Morton.
Thank you.
Furniture maker extraordinaire.
Thank you.
You do spectacular work, but I really want to ask you about some of the finer points of furniture. This is really exceptional handcrafted furniture. It starts with beautiful wood, but that's about as much as I know about it, and I know the folks at home would appreciate knowing just how you are inspired by a piece of wood. And I see this, you know, we're positioned here in front of these stacks of lumber, which is of course where it all starts, but it looks pretty rough.
Yes, yes,
so can you just show me what, where this all starts?
That's one of the things that we do here at Morton Fine Furniture, and that is we educate the customer as to what is different about our furniture. And one of the things that we point out is, first of all, the quality of the material. The quality of the material, one of my jobs is that I go out and I seek out premium grade lumber. So that means I go out to my sawyers and kilns and lumber dealers and find boards that I feel are suitable for our lumber.
Okay, is this something that's suitable for furniture?
Well, okay, now like this particular piece here, this is aromatic cedar. Our quilt chests are one of our #1 pieces of furniture that we make, and we do not put a veneer inside the pieces. It's aromatic cedar. Now aromatic cedar is a really rough, gnarly looking wood. It's tough to work with. It's, you know, as you can see, it still has some of what we call the wane on it, but that's actually a nice piece of cedar. When it comes to the exterior of a chest or any other piece of furniture, we work predominantly in cherry. And now lumber is graded just like eggs, okay? And we usually get what we call FAS select, which means first and second select. It's about the best you can get. Now like this would be considered what we call a #1 common board, which has some knots in it, still has some nice grain. I picked it out because I see some figure happening there. And we'll use this particular piece for smaller things like feet or moldings or something like that.
Just because it's got imperfections in it. It's got wanes and checks. And
right, and like a knot here, but I see some really nice figure happening here.
There's some beautiful design right in here. You call it figure.
Figure.
Wood figure.
Right, right,
yep.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's a choice piece. That's something
that's a good piece. That's a good piece. Now,
that's compared to this.
Now this is more of a choice piece where it has good length, really nice width to it, not much sap grain. Sap is the exterior part of the tree that actually the tree is growing with, and it's usually light in color. Our furniture you will not find any sap in. Your commercially grade furniture, you will find sap in it, but they stain a lot of their furniture. And one of the reasons why is because they use a lower grade of material so they can keep their costs down. And it blends things in better. We finish naturally with oils. Now like this, to me, I look at this and I go, ooh, this is nice. This is a nice piece for like a lid.
This is where you really get inspired.
This is where I get excited. I've been doing this for 27 years and I still get excited about a very nice piece of wood. I'll pull it out and I'll go, ooh, that's it. I'll even mark things down, like I'll go top, because I'll make a measurement and I know in my head what some of our pieces will work for. This has beautiful figure to it, really nice broad grain happening in it. So, you know, when you look at a piece of furniture, you don't find little narrow strips of wood in our furniture. You find broader boards with broad figure.
I think it's fascinating that you see a piece of board and right away it's like top, chest, drawer, back. That's just perfect. Okay, tell me about, you know, most of us know enough when we buy a good piece of furniture to look at construction, not only, you know, the grain and how beautifully matched attached it is, which we are seeing at, by the way, as we're talking. We're looking at your furniture, the finished pieces. But I want you to tell me on this chest, what's going on here? Like, you've got very high contrast corner detail.
Right. Now that's
with the dovetailing.
That's exactly. In other words, that is a joint that most people will recognize. Okay. A lot of times I kind of have to laugh because mom and pop always will teach their children
over here.
what makes a good piece of furniture is the dovetail. They'll pull a drawer out and they'll see the dovetail.
Yeah.
Oh, the drawers are dovetailed. You know. Well, you know, traditionally in Lancaster County, old dowry chests were very common. Okay, that was mostly what everybody had one because they didn't have closets, so they kept their belongings in a chest, and they were dovetailed like this. Well, there's not very many people doing that anymore today. Okay, we still like to do joinery techniques the old-fashioned way. That's a very, very, you know, strong joint, and it's also a very showy joint. It really lets people see how a piece is put together.
This is gorgeous. I want to talk a little bit more about these chests. But first of all, I want to ask you, you know, I look at a piece of furniture like this or a piece of wood like this, and I can't envision it in a piece of furniture, but you can. But that's part of where you're coming from. This is part of your passion, your heart. Why are you in this business? Where did it start?
It started when I was actually very young. My father used to clerk sales. He was the one that would take the number down and the price, and you know, on a clipboard, and I'd go along with him. And for some reason, I just liked rooting around in the furniture. I would just somehow was drawn to that. And then when I got into high school, furniture making was not in the family in any way, shape, or form. I had a very good industrial arts teacher who kind of took me under his wing, and I was actually making furniture like this back in high school. And I've been doing it ever since.
Here in Lancaster County?
In Lancaster County, yep, exactly.
You're going to teach your children how to do this?
Yeah, he does quite well, actually. He's 8 years old, and he's he loves it here, you know. He likes to, we've made birdhouses and all sorts of things to, you know, out of wood, yep.
When you see a piece of wood like that, do you automatically think shaker? Now, I know you do several different styles of furniture, but a lot of, I mean, Lancaster County is shaker, Pennsylvania Dutch, very simple forms out of exquisite materials.
Right.
What is your style? What is your personal style in the furniture?
Well, here at Morton Fine Furniture, our particular style is we have three. We like clean line furniture because it really lets the wood speak. We don't have a lot of carvings and curlicues and fancy moldings and things like that. So, Pennsylvania German furniture, Pennsylvania Dutch is a misnomer. The Germans and the Swedes settled this area. They were very, very good cabinet makers. They were some of the finest. But they made very simple pieces because they were making them for farmers and coopers and blacksmiths and people like that didn't have a lot of money. So, you know, they were very fine pieces, which are now very heavily sought after in the antique world, but very clean line. So it works very well for the type of material that I'm using. The American shaker, of course, is very popular. That's a very big rage in the United States, so we're asked for that a lot. Works very well, clean lines. And then, of course, the third is my personal favorite. I love the Mission era. I like Frank Lloyd Wright, Gustav Stickley, Green and Green. It's just, you know, wonderful. And that's what I like to do.
Why do you like that era? That's my personal favorite,
is
too.
It?
Why do you like that era?
Great. Design, because it really is a thought-out design, and you can mix different woods like cherry and tiger maple and walnut, and just it's
gracious. I always found it was very gracious. Very graceful. There's just a cleanness.
There's a flowing to it. It flows. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
People are going to think we're nuts talking like this.
Yes.
It flows. You know, it's very cool. It's very fun.
Exactly.
Okay, when you do your dovetailing and all of your fine workmanship, now take me through the process, particularly of dovetailing.
Yes.
Well, how does that work? Do you dovetail each piece individually?
Yes.
You cut the pieces, and then like a jigsaw puzzle, it's supposed to fit together.
That's exactly right.
What is the tolerance for error when you put pieces together?
None. It has to fit very, very tight. That's one of the things about a dovetail that makes it very, very strong. Back in days of old, that was what an apprentice would have learned to do. He would have learned to do dovetailing at a certain point, and that would take him to a next level when he finally mastered his dovetails. We use modern equipment here, okay, because I have to keep up with, the schedules that we have. So we have some jigs and patterns that we do use. And there's a rule here. You don't touch the dovetailer because of its tolerances. You don't change anything. So it gives nice tight dovetails. We don't use any fillers or anything like that, and that's one of the reasons why.
And that's true of master crafted furniture, is that when your joints are all showing and they're all exposed as part of the design,
correct,
you can't see any glue or
correct,
fillers,
correct,
and and if you did, it would really be obvious. So
correct,
that's really important.
Correct.
Well, we've been watching you at work. We've been watching your people at work, who are very busy here today, I might add.
Good.
And all of this wonderful. I mean, I can't say enough about your furniture. This is absolutely gorgeous. May I look?
Sure.
This is really pretty. Oh, look at that!
Just for you.
This is so cool. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
You bet.
Great.
Thank you.
Morton's furniture is beautiful. If you ever have an opportunity to acquire one of their pieces, no matter where you live in America, try to do so, because surely it will be an heirloom that you'll treasure for a long time.